and they tricked them, but they made a league with them, didn't ask God permission, and of course, God eventually allowed them to join them with them because they made an oath to them and they could not go back on the oath. Two wrongs can't make a right, and that is the theme that we are seeing. So, not because they did wrong, we should do wrong too. Right? We can't violate the commandments of God. We gave ourselves over. No, they eventually defeated all the nations, how many different kings, and they destroyed how many nations. And when we counted last time, it was 33. So Joshua destroyed 31 kings in the land of Canaan. Moses destroyed over the other east of Jordan, which is Og, the king of Bashan, and Heshbon, the king of the Amorites. So he would have destroyed two, then Joshua destroyed all the rest of them. And then the scripture said they had rest. So now that they had rest, we are reaching to a point now where we are seeing now the division of the land. So we come to the point now where they are dividing up the land because they have taken over a wide amount. No, they did not take all the land, as the scripture said, because God said, lest the wild beasts multiply on them and stuff like that and devour them. So he drove out them from the main towns. They were never a massive people. And so it came to the point where God said to them, as you increase, you drive out. You drive out as you increase. And don't make any league with them. Just drive them out little by little until you possess the whole land. All right? So, but where should they each tribe be placed? And that is what we are looking at now. So this is the land that they inherited. And now Joshua is then going to divide up the land according to the tribes. Now, how many tribes are here to divide the land for?
9.5. 9.5.
Why 9.5?
Because 2.5 stay on the other side of Jordan.
Right, 2.5 stay on the other side of Jordan. Anybody remember the name of the 2.5 that was on the other side of Jordan?
God, Manasseh, and I think it's Ezekiel. I don't remember the other.
First son.
Reuben.
So the first son, Reuben, God, and then the other first son of Joseph, Manasseh. Half of them went over this. All right? So we have two first sons who really did not get the full blessing from the father. Right? They are both on that side, and then God joined with those as well. So that was the 2.5 tribe. Now, over here is 9.5 tribe. Let me see, Sister Tiwal. Can you name the 9.5 tribes that are in the land? Let's go.
All right, so Asher.
All right, we're going in order, easy enough. But go ahead, don't do it as how you choose them.
Asher. Esau. Oh, all right, Asher.
There's no Esau.
Sorry, Asher, Judah.
Yes.
Simeon.
That's 3.
Levi
don't get any
land.
So who get in space? Dan. Ephraim. That's 5. But we will help her out. Anybody can help her out. She's missing out some. Anybody remember the others? The name of the tribes? Issachar. Yes. Zebulun. Dan.
Dan already.
What's the other one? Zebulun. You did not say Zebulun either. No? We don't finish. That's 3 more. That's 1 more is left. 1 more is left. Anybody remember the other one? Now remember the 12 tribes of Israel. Benjamin.
Oh Lord, Benjamin. Oh Lord.
Everybody forget Benjamin?
Wash belly.
Don't forget the wash belly. Alright, that's why I said if you say it in order, it's easy to remember. It says Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Joseph, Benjamin. Alright, so is that the song we learned from the son that the Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Naphtali, Dan? No. Zebulun, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher, Joseph, Benjamin. All right, so it's a little way to remember them. So all right, so 9.5 tribes are, and the half tribe, which is Manasseh, who is going over. All right, so why were the Levites given anything though?
Because Joseph's sons get their possession.
Right, Joseph's son got a double portion, and the share is for 12 tribes.
And they were given the responsibility of working in the tabernacle. And I think because of what they did with Simeon, it was Simeon that they joined with and did the bad thing while they were punished. That was one of their punishments.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really not a punishment, but in a sense. But look at their love to do the blood thing. Because Levi was older. No, Simeon and Levi. And Simeon got scattered all over in Israel.
Yeah. And they said that they should not be joined together.
Right, that's what his father said. Indeed. All right, so the line is going to be divided, but listen how they're going divided as Jehovah commanded Moses. So the children of Israel are going to. All right, so whose land is it? God's land. And he's the one doing the division through Moses, through Joshua, right? So God is the one dividing up the land. And remember, he said to them as we go read through, he said, somebody marry somebody in Torah. If somebody marries somebody, you can't marry outside of your tribe. That is those who possess land. A woman who possesses land cannot marry outside her tribe.
Because they want to keep the possession.
Right. God said no want the tribal allotments to be passed around all over. Right. Because he said the land must never be sold ever, because the land is his.
So the earth is the Lord, right?
Yes.
And he chose one particular land specially for himself to give this set apart people. And if he has chosen it, he has chosen it for eternity.
Yes.
So as long as the land exists, it belongs to them. So we know what the problem is down there.
Yes.
And without a doubt, the land actually belongs to the children of Israel.
Right. Definitely. And they can fight all they want and then spit up all they want. We read it in Amos. I read it in Joel. So listen, my man, the land divide, but I'm going to give people them land. Them take my land and spread all over the place, but the land is mine, and for Israel, I'm going to give it back to them. And nobody can take them out and I give it back to them.
Even though their sin caused them to be spewed out like the other nations,
yes,
he said that he's going to bring them back. When they repent and turn to him, they are going to be gathered back in that same land.
Yes, because guess what? Why did he take them, the other nations, out of the land? Because it's his land, and he give it to his people. And so he's going to take out those people and give it to his people. His people messed up and drive them out because the land is going to be holy. It's going to be a holy land. And so that is why he's pure people when he's ready. Because the land is his and he represents him. It's amazing. Yeah?
I mean, Messiah come back that year is going to hit to rain.
It has to be.
In the end.
All right. So we're going to take 6 to 15. Who's going to do that one? Sister Lynch. Sister Lynch, I'm giving you 6 to 15 of Joshua 14. Joshua 14, 6 to 15. Which is basically 6 to the end. Alright? And Sister Timol will do a commentary on that, if there is any. Alright, Sister Lynch? Sister Lynch is here. Sister Lynch? Alright, I'm going to let Sister Timol start this one.
Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that Jehovah said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of Jehovah, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land. And I brought him word again, and it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses sware on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance, and thy children forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord thy God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, and as he said, these 40 and 5 years, even since the Lord spake his word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now, for war both to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spake in that day. For thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, that I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. And Joshua blessed him, and gave unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh Hebron for an inheritance. Hebron therefore became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, unto this day, because that he wholly followed the Lord God of Israel. And the name of Hebron before was Kirjath Arba, which Arba was a great man among the Anakims, and the land had rest from war.
You remember the song, Sister Timol, that the other children made up when Sarah died? So you remember? And Sarah died in Kirjath Arba, the same is
Hebron
in the land of Judah. Right. Right. So definitely you see that is the place. So the place where Abraham mourned for Sarah, where Sarah died, that piece of land is where Joshua, Caleb went to do the spying. And that land, Moses promised him, you're going to be yours. All right? So yes, Sister Lynch, that's all right. The delay was causing that. All right. So, Sister Lexi, what do you want to say about this from 9 to 15? What did you realize or learn from this? Anything? Sister Lexi? And there's a delay on Sister Lexi's side as well.
So we're seeing here where
yes, Sister Timon.
Moses told them as instructed by God that this land belonged to the children of Israel forever.
Not just the children of Israel, Caleb.
And along with Caleb. Right? Brother Bury, go ahead.
And also, sis, I like how Caleb put it. He remind Joshua exactly everything that took place when they went to spy out the land. But he also made mention that not through them time that we are 40 years old. I'm here 85 now. We still have the strength for war.
Yes.
So don't worry about the Anakims that's still in this land. Because if God won't give it then, the same God then, I see him when I'll be with me now if he drives them out. So so you don't have no reasons for not give me this. So anything where you want to come with, we have that covered.
Yes.
Amen.
Clearly, Joshua was a man who was unafraid. And he said, the reason I was able to go out and come in, have the strength and have the mindset for war, is because I wholly followed Jehovah. That's what he said, you know. He said, verse 9, he said, because thou hast wholly followed Jehovah, my God. So Moses said to him, the man said, listen, because I followed God, you know, God, I got a blessing from God, and God. And watch what he said in verse 12 now. He says, the Anakims are there, and they are great, and they are in fenced cities. But guess what? If so be Jehovah will be with me, I then shall be able to drive them out, as Jehovah said. What did Caleb said when he came back the first time from spying? We are what?
More than able.
We are well able. We are able. When everybody, the other 10 spies, I said, we don't know. Joshua was there with Caleb, but Joshua was quiet. A little more subtle than Caleb. Caleb was very passionate and outright and brazen. And Caleb, I said, still the people. And I said, Caleb, still the people. I said, hey, we are able. We are well able. And it's amazing to know that Caleb was not an original Israelite. It continues to amaze me. Just to show that, listen me, man, you can born in a church and don't have faith in God. You can be in church 20, 30 years and still don't know God. But another man who know God, listen me, faith is something that you man believe in his bone that God is able and nothing now fails him. And he say, hey, the Anakins are there, they have them tall and them mighty and them in fence cities. But guess what? I can't do this. If once God is with me, I can't do this. And I want this to be the thought for today. I shall be able to drive them out if God be with me.
But guess what? Guess what just came to mind, Brother Timothy. I'm not rebutting what you're saying, just something that came to mind. Now, the other set of people who are down there fighting for the land, they can say, your so-called God gave you the land, but we were in it before.
No, man, they weren't. They're the same Canaanites. Yeah.
Okay.
These are some, but remember, God gave the land to Abraham first.
Yes.
And Abraham left. And not Abraham, Jacob left with Israel and went to Egypt. And during that time, they possessed the land. Okay. And God is not bringing them back. Because God said to Abraham that I will give you this land, but the sins of the Canaanites are not yet full. So I'm going to drive them out eventually. All right? Eventually they were driven out. And God said, this land is for my people. All right? So Joshua was ready. Not Joshua, Caleb was ready like he was ready 40 years ago. 45 years ago. Why 45 and not 40? It is a time when the period between him, the spying, and they wandered in the wilderness, and the time now that Joshua would have been fighting, a couple of years have passed by since they are fighting. So now it's the 5th year, and they are now ready to settle. All right, so it's done in the 5th year of the fighting. So about 5 years of fighting all these nations and stuff. It's not happening in 1 year, just one fight everybody. That could never happen in 1 year. That take time to recover, wounds heal and stuff, and strengthen and go back and keep on doing these things. Yes, Brother Bury.
Oh, something just come to my thought process, and we just look at it. We study about the land when God told them that when they plant, the first 3 years, no good for them eat. The 4th year, the produce of it must come to him. And then the 5th year is the time when they should eat of it. Now we just look at it and say this is the 5th year when they are now going to occupy the land. So the 4th year, God was somewhat taking back the land to himself and consecrating the portion of land that they're supposed to receive at this particular moment. And now they're going to inherit.
Yes.
The land. So when I look at the comparison both.
Yes, when I hear you start, I might tell you that's exactly what you're going to say. Yes, yes, Father. Yes, indeed. It's a nice comparison to see. All right. So, any other comment on this? No? All right. Let's go to Joshua and 15. I'm going to read 1 to 12. And then I'm going to ask Sister Lynch a message from early. So when the delay kicks in, Sister Lynch, you remember, it's 13 to 19. So I'm going to do 1 to 12, Sister Lynch. I'm going to give you 13 to 19. All right? So here we go. I'm going to read Joshua 15, 1 to 12. All right, here we go. This then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin. Question, Caleb is which tribe?
Judah.
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 Judah, yes. So Caleb is the tribe of Judah.
He was placed in it.
Yes, man, and he was the head of the tribe of Judah.
Okay.
Yes, man. He was the head. He was the one when the 12 spies went out. He was the one that was sent to be the head of Judah for that. All right. It says, this then was the lot of the tribe of the children of Judah by their families, even to the border of Edom, the wilderness of Zin, Edom, where Caleb come from. The wilderness of Zin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. And their south border was from the shore of the Salt Sea, from the bay that looketh southward. And it went out to the south side of Akrabim, and passed along Zim, and ascended up on the south side of Kadesh Barnea, and passed along to Hezron, and went up to Adar, and fetched a compass to Karka. Right? The compass means a circular curved part. From thence it passed from towards Asmon, and went unto the river of Egypt. And the goings out of that coast were at the sea. This shall be your south coast. So who is on the south coast is Judah. The land, so Judah get the south coast. You were saying?
I wish you could see on the map what
I look for it in the meantime then. Alright. And the east border was the Salt Sea, even unto the end of Jordan. And their border in the north quarters was from the bay of the sea at the utmost part of Jordan. And the border went up to Beth Hogla, and passed along by the north of Rabbah, and the border went up to the stone of Boham, the son of Reuben. And the border went up towards Debri, from the valley of Achor, and so northward, looking toward Gilgal. That is before the going up to Adumim, which is the south side of the river. And the border passed towards the waters of En-Shemesh, and the goings out thereof were at En-Rogel. And the border went up by the valley of the son of Hinnom, unto the south side of the Jebusites, the same is Jerusalem. And the border went up to the top of the mountain that lieth before the valley of Hinnom westward, which is at the end of the valley of the giants northward. And the border was drawn from the top of the hill unto the fountain of waters of Nephtoah, and went out of the cities of the Mount Ephraim, and the border was drawn to Baalah, which is Kirjath Jearim. And the border passed Baalah westward unto Mount Seir, and passed along unto the side of the Mount Jearim, which is Kesalom, on the north side, and went down to Beth-Shemesh, and passed unto Timnah. And the border went out onto the side of Ekron northward, and the border was drawn to Shikron, and and passed along to Mount Bala, and went out unto Jabneel, and the goings out of the border were at the sea. 12 and final. And the west border was to the great sea, and the coast thereof. This is the coast of the children of Judah round about according to their families. Judah was the biggest tribe, so got the greater or the greatest allotment because of their size.
So they get the south and the north and the
No, they don't get the south and the north. They got the south part, but the north of the south part and the east. So they were trying to tell what is their border. They are in the south, but their northern border, their eastern border, southern, western border, and southern border. they gave the borders right around, north, south, east, and west. But they were in the south of the land. All right? Anything, Brother Bury, you want to share from that? Anything, Sister Lynch, Alexi, anybody?
It's basically just outlining, as you said, where belonged to Judah, where was given to Judah.
All right. So basically, we just look on Judah's portion.
So these spaces, they have the same names?
No, not all of them will have the same. But you still could find the border of these places.
Oh.
All right. So, Sister Lynch, it's your turn now from 13 to 19. That's what I said, right? Yes, 13 to 19, Sister Lynch.
And unto Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, he gave a part among the children of Judah, according to the commandment of Jehovah to Joshua, unto even the city of Arba, the father of Anak, which city is Hebron. And Caleb drove thence the 3 sons of Anak, Shishai, and Ahiman, and Talmai, the children of Anak. So these were the children of Anak: Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. And he went to thence to the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath Sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath Sepher, and taketh it to him, will I give Aksha, my daughter, to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, the brother of Caleb, took it, and he gave him Aksa, his daughter, to wife. And it came to pass, as she came unto him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field. And she lighted off her ass, and Caleb said unto her, What wouldest thou? Who answered, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And he gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. Unto what verse?
All right.
Yeah.
13, 19.
Okay. I just read the last.
So yes. Right, yes. What's going on there? Timothy, you want to take that one? What's going on there?
So the next portion of land that is being divided here, Caleb told him that anybody who fight this the people that are on this land,
yeah,
he will Zanoah, and Enganim, Tapua, and Enam, Jarmuth, and Adulam, Tokoh, and Azekah, and Sharim, and Adisam, and Gederah, and Gederothaim, 14 cities with their villages. Zenan, and Hadashah, and Migdalga, and Delin, and Mizpeh, and Joktheel, Lachish, and Bozkath, and Eglon, and Kabon, and Lamam, and Kishlish, and Gederoth, Beth-dagon, and Naamah, and Makkedah, 16 cities with their villages. Libnah, and Ether, and Ashan, and Giftah, and Ashna, and Nezib, and Keilah, and Akzib, and Marasheh, 9 cities with their villages. Ekron with her towns and her villages, from Ekron even unto the sea, and all that lay near Ashdod with their villages. Ashdod with her towns and her villages, Gaza with her towns and her villages, unto the river of Egypt, and the great sea and the border thereof. And in the mountains, Shamir, and Batir, and Sokoh, and Dana, and Kirjath-Sana, which is the bear, and Anab, and Eshtemoth, and Anim, and Goshen, and Holon, and Gilo, 11 cities with their villages. Arab, and Duma, and Eshin, and Ganom, and Beth Tapua, and Africa, and Humta, and Kirjatharba, which is Hebron, and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. Maon, Carmel, and Ziph, and Juttah, and Jezreel, and Jokdeam, and Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 cities with their villages. Halhul, Bethzor, and Gidor, and Marath, and Bethanoth, and Eltikon, 6 cities with their villages. Kirjath-Baal, which is Kirjath-Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 cities with their villages. In the wilderness, Betharaba, Midin, and Sikapa, and Nibshan, and the city of Salt, and Engedi, 6 cities with their villages. As for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the children of Judah could not drive them out, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Judah at Jerusalem unto this day.
All right. That was long reading, but that reading was just to give the full border and the cities that they possessed, and the towns and villages and everything that was theirs. Of course, you see it also mentioned Kirjatharba, which is Hebron, and we know who that belongs to. That belongs to Caleb, because Caleb is a part of Judah. All right, so we have seen all of that in that. Anything else you want to talk about?
The Gaza that is in this is the same Gaza that exists now.
Yes.
Oh, so that means they're in the land Jerusalem.
Yes. Yeah, Gaza, they take that land is divided, and Gaza have peace. And Israel, man, is divided, same Gaza. Anybody else? Anything you want to look at? Anything stood out to you? I know there's a lot of names. Or anything stood out to you?
The Gaza, the Philistines.
Go ahead, Alexa. I'm not hearing it loud enough.
Isn't the Gaza the Philistines?
If Gaza is the Philistine.
Remember, Samson, I read about Gaza in Philistine.
Yes, because look at verse 63. That's how they are still there. What verse 63 says?
They could not pass them out.
Yes, so some of them were left in the land, and that was a problem. They shouldn't have been left in the land. That's why some of them are still there. Yes. Brother Bury?
Yes, I was looking on verse 63 as well. I was saying, but probably at that particular time they couldn't drive them out because they did not have the inheritance to really fit in that section at that particular time. But as you said, as time goes by, they didn't even remember that God had commanded them that when they started to multiply more and more, they should drive them out. Yeah, so they got comfortable with them there, and it caused a problem, and it is what is still causing a problem even to today.
Yes, still causing a problem. Boy, I tell you, we're going to realize as we go into the Torah portion, this is an unwillingness, the after Torah rather, is an unwillingness to drive out the people out of their land. Is that if, make me all right, over there. And all these things. They're not looking at the future, they're just looking at the now. Oh, I am comfortable now. And this is why some things that you put up with now because it doesn't affect you. Later on down the road, it will become a thorn in your flesh. Not because you never put out and set it from right from the start. And it's a warning to us in every aspect of our lives. You know, we have to be very careful as we go about our daily lives and how we establish our presence and what we allow to be with us and around us, and people, not just things, but people we allow to be around us, and you know, and something that you don't stand up firm on, but you just try not to trouble me. But later on, it will affect your children and even maybe your own soul. All right. So that was that, and that was the portion of the land of Judah that was allotted. That's the lands of Judah. So we're doing more distribution of the land. Who is doing this one now? Lexi, Sister Lexi, can you take 1 to 10 of Joshua 16? Joshua 16, 1 to 10. Which is basically the whole chapter. It's one chapter, 1 to 10. Go ahead, Sister Lexi.
And the lot of the children of Joseph fell from Jordan by Jericho unto the water of Jericho on the east, till the wilderness that goeth up from Jericho throughout Mount Bethel, and goeth out from Bethel to Luz, and pass along the borders of Archi and Ataroth, and goeth down westward to the coast of Japheleti, unto the coast of Beth-horon, the nether, and to Gezer, and the goings out thereof are at the sea. So the children of Joseph, Manasseh, and Ephraim took their inheritance. And the border of the children of Ephraim, according to their families, was thus. Even the border of their inheritance on the east side was Atarothador unto Beth-horon, the upper, and the border went out towards the sea to Michmethah on the north side, and the border went about eastward unto Tanakh Shiloh, and passed by it on the east of Janohah. And it went down from Janohah to Ataroth and to Nara, and came to Jericho, and went out at Jordan. The border went from Tapua westward unto the river of Kana, and the goings out thereof were at the sea. This is the inheritance of the tribe of the children of Ephraim by their family.
All right. That was it, 1 to 10? All right.
No,
I want to share.
it was at 8. I was reading from the screen.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I was looking for a picture to show of the thing that you are reading. Hold on. I wanted to show it. All right, go ahead now.
And the separate cities for the children of Ephraim were among the inheritance of the children of Manasseh, all the cities with their villages. And they drave not out the Canaanites that dwell in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwell among the Ephraimites unto this day, and serve under tribute.
All right. You see something else happen now? One more of it. verse 10. What happened, Lexi, in verse 10? Verse 10. Sister Lexi.
They didn't draw them out.
Right, so they drive them out, and what happened? What did they do with them?
They left them to serve and attribute.
Which means that they made a league with them. Isn't that so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did God say? Did God tell to make any league with these nations?
No.
So they should have driven them out. They should not have made a league with them. But you see, they start to get comfortable, and so they start to compromise. God of His mercy. All right, so I want to show the picture now of the where we were at, and going back now to the borders that you just mentioned of Ephraim and Manasseh. So this is Ephraim right here, and the border went to the coast of the Jordan, and Manasseh went to the sea. Its coast went over to the sea, as you were mentioning, and Tapua, which you made mention of, there it is right here again, which is a coast, right? That is what was happening there. So this is where, so the here down here is Judah. We haven't given Benjamin and Dan yet. But it's the piece of Dan. But look at this other piece of Dan up the top. So Dan was kind of scattered a little bit. Alright, piece of Dan was down here and piece of Dan was up there. Alright? But here what happened now? This is talking about Joseph's children that came on the west side. Alright, the half tribe of Manasseh and Ephraim. Alright, so that is their possession that they would have got. And this is north of Benjamin. So realize that Joseph and Benjamin are together, right? So not Joseph and Benjamin. Well, yes, Joseph and Benjamin, but Joseph's sons are Ephraim and Manasseh. So Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin are in the middle right here. Judah down here to fight and protect and up the top there. Alright, so that was that there. Alright. So that was Joseph's sons and possession in the land. That was chapter 16. Alright? So chapter 16 was very short. So now we are going over to chapter 17. So who is taking 1 to 11 now? Brother Bury again? Yes, Brother Bury, it seems like it's your turn. Unless Sister Lee, you want to read? Sister Lee, you want to read for us?
Sorry, my brother, I did not study because I did not get the verses that you guys were doing today. But I definitely joined you next Sabbath.
I just want to read. Just to read, not to give a comment. Just read.
All right. May I go try? We are say, may I go
right, it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
Well, yeah, but may I forgot get the glasses. All
right, 1 to 11.
Well,
all right.
They have a go for me, bro. Welcome, brother. That's the right funny spot, you know.
All right.
All right. Just say from 1 to where?
1 to 11.
From the top?
Yes, from the top, yes.
That's Genesis 17?
Right.
There was also a lot for the tribes of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, to it for this one, mature, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gad, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gad and Bashan. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abazor, and for the children of Eleka, and for the children of Ashel, and for the children of Shisham, and for the children of what is that? Ipor,
Yeah.
and for the children of Shemida, and these were the males, children of Manasseh, the son of Joshua, by their families. But Zebul, what is Zeb? That is the name? Zelophehad, the son of Ipor, the son of Gad, the son of Machor, the son of Manasseh, had no son, but daughters. And these are the name of his daughters: Mela and Noma. What is Agla, Micha, and Torza.
Verse 4. Your microphone is muted. Stop, please.
Could somebody finish it? There was a call coming in and just mess up everything.
Oh.
Where did I reach? Verse 5. Verse 4. And they came near before Eliezer.
Go ahead, that's it.
And they came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, Jehovah commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandment of Jehovah...
Thank you, sis. Can somebody just keep calling and interrupting? Sorry.
Yes.
Continue. Therefore, according to the commandment of Jehovah, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. And there fell 10 portions to Manasseh, beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethah, at that lieth before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. Now Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the coast descended unto the river Canal, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's. And the sea is his border. And they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Bethshean and her towns, and Iblim and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Tanakh and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 countries. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land.
Again, we see something. Every time so far, we are seeing that they keep on leaving people in the land. And it's not that they couldn't, it's they refuse to. Why is it that they couldn't? If God was fighting for them, why is it that they couldn't drive out the people? Why?
Maybe they were putting out too much effort, not trusting in God, you know.
Challenge? Why do you think?
I believe they made friends with them.
They made friends with them. That's one of the reasons.
It was harder to drive them out.
Then they start to make a league. It's as if, all right, we just left a few of you. Just leave you alone. Well, we managed to defeat them already, and war is over. We win. You're not going to fight you, right? And they said, no, we're not going to fight you. I said, all right, stay with them. But it's as if they're not thinking that these people are going to multiply. The people are not going to remain a few people all the years to come. God gave the land, and you're telling me that they could not. They could not because they did not.
They disregarded what God said.
Amen.
Just like when we practice the little things, I said, no, man, just one little lie. That won't do me anything. All of those things.
Yeah. You see.
So because they disobeyed God's laws and the honor that God has given to them, God lowered them up onto their reprobate mind. So they didn't have the power anymore because the power didn't belong to them. The power belongs to God. And because they didn't carry it out, He leave them.
Yeah, they trusted in their own
strength. Them have to be praying them now.
Yeah. They trusted in their own strength. That's why, listen what it said. The Bible didn't say God did not drive them out. It said the people could not drive them out. What does it mean? It's saying that in their own strength is where the trust was now and not in the strength of God. Sister Lexi?
Just like how you never know plastic dangerous until it build up over time and you see the effects of it.
Yeah, because I don't dispose it properly, right? And so that's what happened. So I thought it was harmless, it's nothing, but then it becomes something that they cannot deal with even to this day. All right? Let's take it from 13 to 18. Brother Bury.
Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxen strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. And the children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why hast thou given me but one lot and one portion to inherit, seeing I am a great people, for as much as the Lord hath blessed me thereto? And Joshua answered them, If thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself therein the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. And the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who are of Bethshean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people, and hast great power. Thou shalt not have one lot only, but the mountain shall be thine, for it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the going and the outgoings of it shall be thine. For thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong. Is it?
Go ahead, Brother Bury. Go ahead.
Come there complaining when they don't drive out the Canaanites. They need more land. They need more land, but yet still, they don't want to drive out the Canaanites. They're going back to Joshua to give them more inheritance when they already have it. But because they fail to drive out, they make tributes with them. And now they're saying that the Canaanites are strong.
So if you could make tribute with them, couldn't you defeat them?
Exactly. So
if they are giving you, paying your money and tax, that's what tribute means. You know? They are giving you things. That means they are subjected to you.
So you know what it is? They need the money from the Canaanites and all the works that they're doing. They don't want to drive them out, but they need Joshua to give them more land.
Yes. So all of us said, Joshua, some of the land we conquer already, give us some of that. That's what they want, you know. They want the easy life. They don't want to work for what is theirs. Give us some of what you have already. Joshua, because we are a lot of people. And Joshua said, well, if you're a lot of people, go and take down the woodland and take down the Canaanites and the Perizzites over there. Them said, no, they're too strong and they have horse and chariot. You see, that's what I was saying from start. Every time you read that they did not drive them out, it's clearly they trusted not in God, but they trusted in themselves. But look at the difference between them and Caleb. The Amalekites fenced cities and all kind of strong cities. And Joshua said, Caleb said, you're going to give me over there something. I'm going for it now. We got business over there. I'm going for it. The difference with these people is amazing. Everybody wants the easy life. Only a few dare to trust God and to push forward. You complain about land when you just drive with the people and take the land. You're going to make tribute with them. You're going to relax with them. You're going to chill. And now you're missing out.
Because God is not stupid. God knows the number of them. So if he's going to promise them a land, there is enough land for everybody, including the ones that
including the one. That's why so many of them still in the land. Because the ones over the other side never even come over. Because they would come over and take some of those lands too. And the half tribe of Manasseh that is over here and Ephraim, they will attack the rest of the land if the other half tribe will come over. So two things. One, by not coming over to dwell in the land, they weaken their brethren. One. So you see that when you're not together, not united, you're not that strong. That's one. Two, they relied on self instead of relying on God. It's crazy. It's amazing. But in this one, we saw that the daughters, earlier up as well, the daughters of Zelophehad. Remember, they came to Moses and said, our father never have any son, and this was when the commandment was made that they should marry it within their tribe and establish, marry within their tribe and establish the situation to stay in the land, right, in Judah. But in this one now, Manasseh, that should have been Manasseh, the daughters there, right? And now you see that their problem is they are contending with Joshua. Give us more land. Joshua said, go and take the land. No, they're too strong. Give us some of your land. Almost like the wise and foolish virgin.
Give us of your oil.
Give us of your oil. Go and get for yourself.
What do I have to say?
Joshua was like, if I give you a piece of this land, remember those on the inner part of the land, what do you call it? Boundary or inland boundary. When you can go and claim and go right out to the sea, if you take some of there, what are you going to get? You're going to get way more eventually if you ever go and displace those people. You'll get more. So what you're asking me for, you can get more if you go over and take over. But no.
Could be a case that you just tired of fighting.
Tired of fighting, but you want the land? No, you can't get tired of fighting because they are not fighting with God. That is why it's so hard. That's a message. Your life is going to be way harder without God. You're going to be more afraid and more unsuccessful, more unaccomplished when you're doing it out of self. But when you're doing it with God, success is greater. When you do it with God, prosperity is sure. When you do it with God, the Bible says the blessing of the Lord make it oh, the people. The same thing that the 10 spies said, the people. Yes, Brother Bury.
And to add to that, you know, I'm looking at Ephraim and Manasseh. They grew up in Egypt. So,
yeah,
no doubt some of their customs and their traditions, they're seeing these things in the Canaanites that dwelt in the land.
Yeah.
So they are going back to the old mindset. You know, getting comfortable again to that type of mindset. So we don't want to drive them out. We want to keep them because it kind of reminds me of when I was much younger, when I was in Egypt. So even though they left Egypt physically, spiritually, they were traveling. They were carrying Egypt with them wherever they go. So because of this, they didn't want to drive out the Canaanites and the Perizzites. They want to stay with them because it reminds me so much. I know that no, we only supposed to serve one God, but when we're in Egypt, we have multiple gods. And it kind of feel more comfortable than serving this one God. So there was so much, even though they were out of Egypt, even though they saw what God did, even though they knew how God used their father just to see him. But they themselves were still looking for something else. And they saw it in the Canaanites and the Perizzites. And this is why they made league with them and did not want to drive them out. We need other lands, because when they multiply, we can give some of them that land too. We have to be careful, you know. When God removes we from certain things, when God uses us mightily, let us not look back. No matter what the circumstances, let us not get comfortable in what we knew then, but get comfortable in pleasing the God who is able. Caleb was comfortable in pleasing God, even though he came from a similar background. But he saw what God did and he knew God. And he was not letting go of God. And those around him, he was setting an example. But there was no one with Ephraim or Manasseh to set an example.
All right. Tatimal?
I was saying that these people that came over into Canaan, they were not in Egypt because weren't they born in the wilderness?
All right. So Tatimal, Brother Bury is saying that if these people who were fighting the land and going to the land, if some of them were not the children of others, but not the actual ones who came out of Egypt. And I will say, yes, you're right, Sister Tibble. However, here is something to look at. These are children of their fathers.
Oh.
These are children of their fathers. So the things that was, is as if I look at it, is as if they were not so militant, put it that way, to make sure we go and take over. They wanted easy life. Remember, it's the same their fathers said, we are not able. It's the same people that will, we are not able to do this. And we can't go over the 10 spies. We can't do it. They are too great for us. And all these things. And they are fenced cities and we look like grasshopper in their sights. They are giants. These are the children of those fathers. And they come now with the same mentality. We cannot do it. Didn't your fathers wander in the wilderness for 40 years because they said they cannot do it and they don't believe God? And you come with the same attitude and the same thing and to say, we cannot do it either. Children of their fathers, easy life. Just give the land, nobody need to fight, just give the land. If you put a war against us, all right, we just back up. We can't bother with the fighting. We just relax, let us be friends. We all can be friends, we don't have to fight it out, we can talk it out. Yeah, that is the situation. I'm going to take your hand, Sister Lexi, but Brother Bury, since we are on this point, I'm going to take Brother Bury and come back to your hand, Sister Lexi.
Yes. So true. So you look at it now. They go back to Joshua, asking for more land, and Joshua give them an idea of what they should do to receive more land. And they say these individuals have iron chariot and they're strong and everything. So in other words, you know what they're saying, Joshua, you have to come get them out. You know? Since that is the idea that you give, you have to come execute this idea because we can't. So they expect Joshua to fight for them right through their life. They don't, as you said, they don't want to do any heavy lifting.
Yeah. Children of the fathers, man. Children of the fathers. Sister Lexi?
Yes. Where would you think the Roman Empire would fall into this?
Roman Empire?
With Caesar.
Where they come from?
Yeah. Like, maybe because they end up betray them and then like sell them out to the Roman Empire and then somehow have control over them.
No man, Roman Empire come way down because you're going to have Babylon first. And after that, you're going to have Medes and Persia. And after Medes and Persia, you're going to have the Greeks. Right? And it's the Greeks, which is the Grecian army. That is where they started to, in the land, Hellenize, which means to go over to sun worship, really. So Helios for the sun, Hellenize means going to worship